Wolfenstein RPG is a first-person shooter and role-playing video game developed by id Software, released in September 2008 for mobile phones and in May 2009 for iOS. Plot: while the original Wolfenstein 3D contained Nazi castles full of swastikas and sour-looking Hitler portraits, Wolfenstein RPG is decidedly lighter in tone, with mutant chickens, romance novels, and a playful giant named Gunther. Sergeant William B. J. Blazkowicz of the Wolfenstein series of video games, is being held captured by the Axis military. He must now escape his captors and try to save the world by defeating the Paranormal Division. To stop the Axis' diabolically evil Paranormal Division, he must escape prison, navigate towns, and infiltrate Castle Wolfenstein. On his way he can use tools and items he comes across such as boots, fists and toilets. He will inflict serious damage with weapons such as a flamethrower, a rocket launcher, and a Tesla. Gameplay: the gameplay follows the recipe from Doom RPG as it is shown in the first person while being a turn-based role-playing game rather than a shooter and puts emphasis on the plot. Combat and movement are turn-based, allowing the player time to select their responses in combat. The player turns at 90-degree angles and moves space by space. One step or action by the player allows all other characters in the area to take one step or action themselves. The game takes advantage of his deliberately slow pace, encouraging players to take their time and check out every little corner, read the books on every bookshelf, and destroy all the furniture to see if anything is hidden within. Levels include underground passages and weapon development laboratories plus a level involving a moving vehicle. The game also includes 2 mini-games, the card game War on Chicken Kicking, where the player achieves a better score by kicking the chicken into a better score area. Development: the development of Wolfenstein RPG has been a long and difficult task involving id Software, Pyramid Software and Electronic Arts and many months of development. Mobile version was released in late 2008. EA Mobile announced the availability of Wolfenstein RPG on August 14, 2009, a new take on the classic game originally created by id Software, on the App Store. Wolfenstein RPG is a worldwide release to all territories that host the iTunes App Store, including Germany. It is compatible with iPhone and iPod Touch and minimum requires is iPhone OS 2.2.1 or later. Wolfenstein RPG is the 4th generation of our turn-based titles under EA Mobile. John Carmack, founder and technical director at id Software, said that, "The App Store version is dramatically better than on any other platform, with by an order of magnitude more media in high-resolution graphics and audio, all rendered fast and smooth with hardware OpenGL graphics acceleration." The game is available for most JRE-capable mobile phones, as well as the various iDevices. The mobile versions and the iOS version have some differences, but they're all pretty much the same game. Besides, the iOS version has improved sound and graphics, and is likely much more accessible to most gamers than the JRE version. The iPhone version recycles a lot of sound and music from Return to Castle Wolfenstein, but the graphics are all new, taking on an exaggerated comic book style similar to orcs and elves. It is different from id Software's Wolfenstein classes. Wolfenstein Classic is a fast-paced retro FPS. Wolfenstein RPG is a turn-based action RPG that sees you exploring Castle Wolfenstein square by square. It's much like other id Software casual RPGs, Doom RPG and Orcs and Elves. Reception: Wolfenstein has received generally favorable reviews upon its release, holding a score of 87.50% on Game Rankings and 75 on GameSpot based on a dozen reviews by major video game critics. The game was praised for its weapon variation, humor, slow turn-based pace, and attention to detail, classic Wolfenstein style, RPG elements nicely blended in, while the lack of animation design were pointed out as the shortcomings. AppSpy gives the game a rate of 5, which means great. It describes its advantages as controls work well, very user-friendly, looks and sounds great, remains uniquely Wolfenstein while being updated. IGN gave the game 8.5/10 with IGN's Levi Buchanan praising the game for its more cartoon-y than the mobile game, the art direction. And he calls it a polished production. Pocket Gamer reviews the game 8/10. It points out the unique of the game, which is a distinctly different pace, and wonderful black humor. References. External links: Wolfenstein RPG on EA Mobile, Wolfenstein RPG at Moby Games, Wolfenstein RPG at GameSpot.